Hey, let's get into it because somebody, I don't know, it might not have been you. I don't know if it could have been you. We're talking about Benn versus Eubank. And he said, oh, is it going to be good this time? Like, could it do what it did? Because, yeah, it was me and you. We had this conversation. It was like, they shared rounds with each other.
Yeah.
The animosity and all this other stuff, it's not there the same anymore. Brother. Them man got in the room.
It's exactly the same. But you know what though? How did you feel after watching the presser though?
It's crazy because I saw more of a Eddie Hearn, and it felt like an Eddie Hearn versus Eubank Jr. presser than a Eubank versus Conor. Because Conor's kind of peaceful in the sense of Conor's at some level of peace about things. Eubank still feels that he's got a chip on his shoulder, and rightfully so for how he's looking at the situation, right? Saying, look, you held my ambulance, you lied, and you stacked the decks against me because you thought I was going to lose, and I'm still here the winner. And then you tried to call him the people's champion. He's not that. So everything he's gone up against, and plus what your family have done to my family from a boxing standpoint. There's a different fight taking place at this moment. And you can see how when you hear Eddie Hearn talk about it, it's different because he's being mugged off, not allowed to speak. He said he won't go into this presser. Then he's there, which is I found interesting.
He said he wasn't going, but he did do an interview with Cougs and said he's absolutely gonna fucking be there. So I think he might have just been playing the game a little bit by saying he's not going. But I do hear what you're saying in terms of it being more Eubank Hearn, and it's like it's overwhelmingly so this time round compared to the first time. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I get it. Like I understand that whole thing of you're sitting there with the empire that your dad went up against. Realistically, this is an ingrained beef. You can't finish, and I don't know, man. I came away with different, like the ambulance thing.
How did you come away from it?
All right, before we get into the things, then I'll say, I came away kind of feeling like you might have to sing a different tune this time around.
Who?
Chris Eubank.
Oh, really?
You might have to sing a different song, because I don't know if he enjoyed being a fan favorite, but I think he's come in to make sure that he isn't anymore, right? And this is more me looking at someone and say, okay, are you boxing clever? That's a phrase my dad always uses with me, right? There's going to be some situations where you're going to have to box clever. I understand this is why you feel XYZ, and you're right to feel XYZ, but the way you're going to go about it is going to end up a bit more, it's not going to go your way. You're going to have to box clever. And I feel like this is one of those moments where he could have benefited from one of them chats, because I looked at it and I thought to myself, the people love you. So go in there a bit mindful of that. It's got to be a different approach to the first time round. This time round, he accidentally stepped into a situation and made a mess. I know you're going to silence Eddie Hearn every time he speaks. Eddie Hearn came in to speak about Ricky Hatton, and you kept shutting him down. And I just thought in that moment, think, Chris, think for a second. Just take a step back out of this moment here and just think. Because that moment there can't be undone now. I've literally seen the narrative go from, nah, fuck him. He's just become da-da-da. And I looked at it, I thought to myself, I understand this gripe, but your career doesn't start and end with a matchroom beef. You understand? This is a moment for you to leapfrog afterwards, should you take the dub in this fight. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it was just that little part where I thought to myself,
they're clever though.
They're clever.
No, because the one thing that you can say about Eubank Jr. is he has an incredible ego.
Yeah.
And if it's not about him, he's not interested, really. And when he's in fight zone as well, he's a fighter, lacks empathy, and he doesn't like to go there because he wants to stay. He's very boundaried, keeps his feeling. Remember when he talked about emotion, he goes, I don't like this.
I'm cold.
We're here for fighting. We're here for fighting. Don't take me into that part of my emotion because that's not a door that I need to unlock right now when I'm facing you. Are you with me? So that if you're clever, again, you're going to have an emotional moment talking about Ricky Hatton, as in that the other team wants to do that. And they Conor Benn's wearing the shirt. It's different for him. Eubank hasn't been given the script. And he doesn't even, and he's not even someone that is well versed in getting to that side of the script. He can't see it at all. So he will come across
crazy
bad in that moment because all his ego is beyond. Now, you ask Eubank if he cares about Ricky Hatton, absolutely.
Of course he does.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's not in. So I can empathize with him, but it's not saying them lot use they weaponize it because that's even crazier. But he's just not smart enough to understand we've pivoted.
That's right.
Pivot with what's happening around us. Yeah. He's in there saying, "You lot have wronged me. You stopped my car. You did this. You did this. You did this." And was like, "Hey, we want to talk about. Nah, you lot did this, and then this is why I need to take you down and it won't come across.
That's right.
If you're not for the casual or the boxing audience that do feel like, oh, he's an arsehole, especially in Britain as well. Let's put that down.
100%.
That's the backdrop of a British great is gone, and we need to acknowledge it and be humble in it. And he's anything but humble. This man, because of how he manages, how he designs, how he keeps his boundaries up. Though that's why he's a boundaried man. That's all we learn. Because every time I keep seeing Eubank now, I get to know him a bit more and see, okay, you are like this, and it has to go like this for you to be okay in this moment.
That's right.
And
you also understand you can't get to know him. There is no getting to know him.
Very true.
He lets you know, whilst I'm present, I'm amongst you. You're not getting to know me. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting one.
Can we talk about the trick quickly though? Can we talk about the
Oh yeah, he's upgraded it. He upgraded it.
The beats were so unnecessary. I know he's thinking, I want to meet taller than him. I want to show him that you know the little gains that he says, because those beats were unnecessary. The platform was like this.
He said, "I'm joining 6 foot community today."
And he had the Louis. He had the Louis scarf. And I said, look at this man. This guy, man, is just. But what do you think about Conor? What did you get from Conor watching it?
It's interesting, man, because I think Conor has gone through, a couple of things. He's gone through that whole thing of like first defeat, and after that, he's also experienced, coming up short in there, but also getting pushed to my absolute limits as far as a difficult fight goes. So I look at that and I think to myself, see, this is going to tie into my prediction for what the second fight could look like. But the day after the fight, or 2 days after the fight, he was back in the gym, bro. Back in the gym, getting to work again. You're dealing with youth that can do shit like that. Yeah. Then you put a fighter like that through something like that. They come out different on the other side. He won't be the same Conor Benn because he's just been through that. So now I look at that and I think to myself, he even sounds the way he's supposed to sound after a defeat because he's owned it. I was too emotional, didn't stick to the game plan. And, I just wanted to take his head off. The emotion of everything, he's acknowledged the things that took place. Now, for me, I think that's probably the best sign for somebody who I know works as hard as Conor Benn does going into the second fight, because he's looking at it like, I'm not going to get a rise. Yeah, I'm not getting a rise out of cussing you out and saying I'm going to take your head off. I've been in there with you for 12 rounds. I hit you enough to scratch that itch of punching your head off. So now it's a case of, I want to win this fight because I know what losing feels like. Junior.
Yeah, there weren't crazy outbursts from him. They weren't crazy as what you expect him to be, out of control and stuff. Go on.
That's right. Junior on the other side, I look at him and I'm like, you're back with Bomac. That's cool. That's gonna be an extra 10%, but only 10 because you don't get to become Terence Crawford. We've seen this relationship works because of the Liam Smith fight, right? And that's nice. But I look at it and I'm like, at your age, going through that, and the effect that it had on you afterwards, going hospitals, dehydrated, swollen head, and all this kind of stuff. That's a madness. You're not coming out of that the same. And because of the age, I don't think that's going to be a helpful other side. I think there's going to be a little bit more wear and tear. Do you understand? Because that 160, and for me, I'm losing sympathy on the 160 thing only because you signed it again. You signed it again.
Well, you had to.
No.
You didn't. They had.
No, listen to what Ben Shalom was speaking about it, yeah? And he said all these different gripes. You know, Ben's, back in the game, being able to speak now. And one of the things he was saying is like, oh, we were given an ultimatum, 160 or nothing. So we signed it because, Chris Eubank's a money man. That's the thought process that went into making this horrible decision.
Yeah.
So I can't have the same sympathy for it when you haven't changed it after going into the second fight, because it's either going to the second fight properly or we go somewhere else.
No. So this is the problem that I have. Now, you're the person that you mentioned in terms of making a deal work and be right, yeah?
Horrendous, you're right.
I've got no confidence in him. I'm so sorry to say this, yeah? This is an editor that you don't want making your movie, yeah? Or you've done everything that you've done your part, yeah? And you sent it to the editor and he's brought the worst parts of the movie.
And you're like, bro, why did the graphics look so dead? No, that looks like absolute nonsense. He's like, well,
I didn't use that camera, bro.
I tried a really long time to get it right, but that's the best I could do. So you didn't say anything, you just released it.
And then I've got to look at what position or mindset are you in when you're making this deal. Are you desperate? And then after, I quickly think to myself, you're on the BBC. Yeah? Everything about your movement
remember
defending my business. Go on.
He's a business partner of Eubank. He's not the promoter.
No.
So that means Eubank makes the final decision. Don't get it twisted. Eubank is very shrewd in how he operates.
And I heard this is the problem that this is why
I think they just say this money. Go ahead.
No, I had this from Napa.
Go on.
They said Eubank, how he is, yeah, he doesn't want to give a quarter or inch to these people. So him saying change that weight says I'm afraid of this guy. Now I don't see it that way personally, but the fighter in him won't allow him to say, I'm at risk and I have to fix that. Because why do I think I'm at risk to him?
Bro,
are you with me? Which is the
100%,
problem. 100%. He needs somebody in there
to handle
the other side that says, well, that's not going to happen. That's when your business partner in Mr. Shalom says, hey, we're not doing that.
See, this is why
it's in the chain that's off.
I do.
There you go.
See, this is like, makes me think of Emperor's New Clothes, where the ego is you're so easily finessed by ego. You can get twanged by some nonsense, bro. Man are selling you invisible clothes and you're walking around thinking that you're the shit because you're the only one who's got this. Like, my thing is that mindset being a case of I don't want to give these guys the inch by saying I'm complaining is a dumb situation. And that is, for me, that's a lack of wisdom. And this is this type of stuff that makes me say, he can be undone because of his own prideful means. Like, think about how long he's taken to listen to his dad.
Yeah.
You understand? And, not to say that Eubank Sr. was a better listener than Chris, but at the same time, I'm like, I think you have done something silly here. And because you've done it twice, then I say, I can't.
Feel sorry.
I don't feel sorry for it.
Sorry for him. But then I think...
And also, just this last point, rematch clauses... There, bro. You can walk away from this fight if you really wanted to fight someone else. You absolutely could have.
The bread.
Yeah, well, then I can't feel sorry for you. Then I can't feel sorry for you.
Hear me on this one, yeah. The bread is too monumental. The bread is crazy. That's one thing that we have to address. It's like they all went and got Bentleys. Yeah. After this fight, Conor said, "I'm going to get a Bentley," and Conor doesn't even give me that kind of vibe, but. He got paid so much, he thought it's Bentley time. I want one.
And I want a driver, so I can be in the back.
There you go. So we really understand that this wasn't normal money. And then as what's his name said in the Eubank Jr. said, again, the bread was crazy. And I believe that they walked away before. Remember they said, this fight was supposed to happen a little while ago. It's been rescheduled. So there was a new negotiation that took place with Turkey. It's even more. Yeah?
I hear
it's
it.
even
But
I don't know if you now and then you add the shalom element, and you can't leave that out because we got a group or a person that boxing promotion company that said, look, that's the conversation is they've been trying to be destroyed from within. Some entity is trying to hurt their brand, this, that, and the other. We don't know when our next Turkey check is coming. We'll agree to those terms. If we're in a space of desperation, we're not going to manage that deal correctly. So I hear what you're saying. You can never have no sympathy for it, but I'm like, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of moving pieces as to why we're ending up here.
Okay, cool. So then look at the messaging of the complaining at the press conference and why it feels different. It feels different because of this. Now, I'm happy to accept somebody what is doing something unusual to make money, right? I don't want you to then complain about the unusual things you're doing.
Yeah.
If money is the drive, you're in a great position of being someone that's liked. You're in a situation where you've got the public on your side for the first stages of your points in your career. You had a great fight. Go into the second one, amazing. Like, I think the commitment to trying to bring the house down of Matchroom, like, that's not. I get it. I fully get it. Like, what it's a philosophy clash.
Legacy.
But even aside from that, it's the philosophy that you've taken from your dad, and it bothers you that this exists over there. I have my own in comedy. I get it 100%. But I also know that you can't be the dude that's constantly out there going mad all the time. It doesn't help you. So I'm looking at Chris and I'm thinking to myself, you're gonna have to pivot. You're gonna have to pivot because you can't shout jog cheat at him. You're fighting him. You're actually legalizing him by entertaining him because you could just say, I don't want to interact with these type of fighters, but you're not. You're in the mix. So this is the juxtaposition that you're managing, and that's why I'm just like, then stop doing the thing that you think you're doing. It's not as
being
noble
mad
as
at something. You're part of the circus. You're mad at the circus that you're a part of.
And that's why I respect Senior's stance of saying, I'm actually not coming. I'll go to the fight because my boy is in there. But this bit, I'm not part
of the circus. I'm not going to entertain the circus. You know, from that point of view, I totally get it, bro. I totally get it. But the hard part for me is I feel that it's tough because his ego can hurt him. I totally understand why you can be almost swaying another side. But then when I think if Eubank's clever, Bomac is a great acquisition, and Bomac's bought really good things out of him, yeah?
Yeah.
Another thing that you have to remember is you didn't handle the weight. There was stuff you said that happened that you can't talk about because you don't like to make excuses, and you actually haven't made the excuse. If you prevent those things from happening, you'll be even more devastating because you hurt him. You hurt Junior. You could hurt Junior. You're stronger than Junior. I mean, sorry, you're stronger than Ben.
Yeah.
Right? You are stronger than Ben, and you can embarrass Ben if need to. You were fighting on fight or flight mode, which you weren't organized.
Yeah.
Now they'll stick to the game plan, and there's an opportunity they can pick him off and do what needs to be done to win that fight. And then what's next is massive. It's difficult because I don't know. Crawford just feels like so far away now because again, they're going to be in each other's gyms again.
Well, this is the thing.
They're going to be in each other's gyms. Like
I was confused. I was confused that he called out Crawford and then rolled up with Bomac. Unless Bomac is doing a thing to be like, I'm just going to get you over the line, and then we're going to mash you up.
They could do that. But it just something doesn't feel correct about it. It depends what happens with these belts. You know, because Eubank's always said Eubank's the money man. He's a fighter. He's a real like let's sell ticket fighter, right? If Mayweather says, Mayweather, if Crawford says, I don't want these belts anymore, and he vacates, then someone has to fight for those titles. Is that what Eubank Because unless he's gonna stay, if he says he's hold on to the belts, then Turkey can make.
I like Eubank Crawford at Wembley. It's nonsense, but it'd be a hell of a spectacle.
I really wanted Canelo Eubank, you know. I really wanted that fight. I don't know. It's not exciting. It's not. Sorry, it's still exciting, but the gloss is worn off. That's the problem. The gloss is not on Canelo the same way that it was on before.
If Eubank loses, none of these things are happening. Hamza Shiraz steps right in a different way. We're not going to get. If Eubank loses to Conor Benn,
don't see it happening.
I hear it.
Don't see it happening. It'll be too much would have to happen. Too much because while he looked better, while Ben done a very good job, there was slackness and scattiness from Eubank, and there was him being dehydrated. Yeah, him being dehydrated, and he had to make the fight on the day. Remember, he's in that sauna and doing a madness.
Yeah.
If he does that again, Travis, feel everything you want to feel. He's an idiot.
And this is my thing is, you're never gonna get with age and after a war like that and just the scars and all that type of stuff. Weight doesn't get easier as you get older.
Yeah,
it's just because your body just expands in a different way after a certain age. Your body's like, bro, we're at this size now. So if you're taking stuff from me to get down, you're actually taking stuff from me I can't perform to the best I can. And that's why I'm like, well, we are going to see. But my thing is, I just think they need to change the script. You can't have the same script in the first fight going into the second one. Otherwise, you know what I mean? You just look a bit hypocritical. But
well, luckily, they're not going to meet again until it's like the press conference, which gives them time to. Now they've done that part. No egg, no nothing. Focus, getting. If they're using the sauna day of the fight again, if he doesn't make weight, they've messed up, and then now the fight goes into Ben's favor, and Eubank will only have himself to blame.
100%, man.
Simple as that.